Alright, let's get into it. We just had a ton of fights get announced recently. Just a whole wave of matchups dropping all at once. And honestly, I could have made a video on damn near any of them. Some real bangers in the mix. But this one right here, Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Rountree, it immediately jumped out at me. You know how I am, man. I like to get into these, early breakdowns before the hype wave even kicks in. And this one, it's got violence written all over it. It's a sneaky fight of the year potential. Now, here's the thing. Everyone is acting like this is a mismatch. Like, Yuri's just going to run through Rountree because, bro, Rountree sucks. That's the vibe I've been seeing. I honestly believe that Rountree is a great fighter, man. And look, I'm not saying that Rountree is some flawless top-tier technician, but let's give the man some goddamn credit. The dude has been, like, legit. The dude has made legit improvements. He's not just a raw brawler we saw years ago. He's tightened up his striking. He's more composed. I would say he's even more methodical. That performance against Anthony Smith, bro, that was clean. He picked his shots, stayed patient, and he didn't get overzealous. That's growth. And let's not forget, he gave Alex Pereira his hardest fight to date. Besides Magomed Ankalaev. But that's besides the point. I'm starting to admit to myself that Rountree's just a lot better than people want to acknowledge. And when you look at guys like Jiri, who's wild, unorthodox, and honestly leaves himself open all the time, this matchup does get really interesting. Yuri's chaos is what makes him dangerous, but it's also what makes him hittable. And if there's one dude you don't want landing clean on you, it's freaking Khalil, dude. Now, to be fair, let's not get carried away like Rountree's got some Francis Ngannou level type power or something. I mean, yeah, the guy hits hard, no question about it. But I don't think it's this mythical, one-touch death power that some people make it out to be. And if we're going to keep it real, I mean, just look back at the Jamal Hill fight. Rountree landed clean multiple times in that one. Clean flush shots. And Hill didn't go anywhere. I mean, yeah, sure, Hill fucking got like freaking rocked here and there, but he was still in the fight. That's not some sign of some untouchable knockout artist, I mean, Khalil normally doesn't even get finishes. I mean, his last finish was over Anthony Smith, but let's really talk about that. I like Anthony Smith, but that version of Smith, man, he kind of always curled up. He was mentally checked out. You can almost feel it in the fight. Like the moment things got tough, he folded. Rountree deserves credit for staying patient and picking his shots, sure, but I wouldn't use that as some proof that he's now some unstoppable finisher, And this is where it gets tricky against a guy like Jiri, because say what you want about how Jiri is, and trust me, I've said plenty, but one thing that stands out is the way he walks through power. He just doesn't care. He fights like your shots don't matter unless your name is Alex Pereira. The only dude who made Jiri generally respect the danger coming at him. Everyone else, Jiri either ate shots or he got rocked, got back up, and just kept moving forward like he was invincible. And here's the other thing with Jiri. The way he moves, man, it's just different. He's not coming in like a traditional striker. He doesn't fight off a jab, keep a high guard, or work behind a classic combo setup. Jiri comes at you with some weird, unpredictable angles. Sometimes sideways, sometimes circling awkwardly, sometimes hopping into range with looping shots. You can't train for that. You can't find sparring partners who do what he does. His footwork is awkward on purpose. He creates chaos from the moment the fight starts. And yeah, let's be honest, Yuri's gonna get hit. That's just part of his style. He's gonna eat shots. He might even get rocked. It happens before. But here's the wild thing. Even when he's hurt, even when it looks like he's about to get clipped or he's off balance, he keeps coming. He doesn't shut down. He doesn't panic. He turns into pressure. That's a dangerous kind of crazy guy to deal with, okay? And I think that's where this becomes too much for Khalil, because Khalil is a rhythm fighter. He needs those clean reads. He wants you to come in with predictable timing so he can line you up and counter. But you don't line up a guy like Jiri because he's never where he's supposed to be. And when you do land on him, he doesn't give you time to build momentum. He just walks through it and fires something wild right back. It's a trade-off. Jiri gives you openings for sure, but the angles he creates, the unpredictability, the volume, the cardio, and the sure mentality chaos he forces on you, it's just a lot. And I honestly think that's overload for someone like Rountree, who's used to having just a bit more of control in there. So yeah, Khalil might land something big early, but the question is, can he survive the chaos? That comes right back at him, because Yuri's not fighting a clean fight. He's fighting a storm. And he lives in that storm, okay? The thing about Khalil Rountree, he looks like a killer when he's fighting at his pace. Give him some space, give him some time, and he'll light you up. That's when he's dangerous. When he can settle into rhythm, plant his feet, and start picking you apart with that nasty left hand and those body kicks. But the moment you start walking him down, putting pressure on him, making him second guess his reads, that's where the wheels start to wobble. And bro, Jiri is pressure incarnate, okay? He's not just in your face, he's on you. He doesn't give you time to think, and that's a big problem for Khalil. Just go watch Khalil fight Johnny Walker. Came forward throwing bombs. Rountree never had a chance to settle in. Even worse, Ian Cutelaba. That fight was a total meltdown. Cutelaba just crashed forward, clinched up, ragdolled him to the ground, and elbowed him until it was over. That wasn't just high-level wrestling. It was just chaos, pressure, and that's exactly what Jiri needs to bring. And that transitions perfectly into another hole in Khalil's game. The grappling, the clinch work. Now, yeah, he's improved. He went to Thailand, cleaned up his Muay Thai, worked on his clinch striking. You can see it. But at the end of the day, grappling still isn't his strong suit. He doesn't shoot takedowns. He doesn't threaten submissions. He's not dangerous on the ground. If somebody grabs him, pin him against the cage, or drags him into a clinch war, he's getting stuck. It takes away from all that striking flow. He needs to be effective. And the thing is, with Jiri, he might not be wrestling by trade, but he knows how to use it with chaos. He'll clinch with you just to throw something wild. Hell, he might even shoot a takedown just to wear you down and make you scramble. I mean, he did with Alex. He doesn't need to hold you down. He just needs to disturb your rhythm. And that's where Khalil struggles. If you're going to give him a clean, organized fight, he tends to freeze up or burn out. So when we're talking about how this plays out, if Jiri comes forward, mixes in weird entries, unpredictable clinches, weird scrambles, I don't think Khalil holds up. He's not built for that kind of storm. He's built for control and clarity. But Jiri Prochazka, he brings nothing but chaos. Now, here's another angle that kind of flies under the radar, the leg kicks. Khalil's got some nasty ass leg kicks, man. That's one of his sneaky tools in his arsenal that doesn't get talked about enough. Like, when he commits to them, they're brutal. And we've seen it. Jiri doesn't check leg kicks, man. Alex Pereira chewed up his legs like he was going for a 5-course meal. Just hacked them away. And even before that, Rakic did the same thing. He landed a bunch of low kicks early and had success with it. But here's the other wild part about it, though. Jiri doesn't care. Like, yeah, his legs was toast, but he just kept coming forward. He didn't switch stances, didn't show pain, didn't slow down. He said whatever and pushed through it. And not only that, he ended up beating up Rakic after eating up all those leg kicks. So even though Rountree could land those, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to stop him. That brings me to another thing that I don't love, and that this fight is only 3 rounds. If this was 5, I'd feel way more confident that you would wear him down, drown him in chaos, and eventually find a finish. But with just a 3-round, man, that leaves the door open for Khalil to steal some rounds, especially if Jiri starts slow. Because, man, let's be honest, sometimes Jiri takes a minute to download the data. We've seen it. We seen it against Rakic. Kind of stood there like an NPC, taking all those leg kicks that were coming. And by the time he started turning it up, Rakic is already banking up the first round. I could see the same thing happening here. Rountree might come out fast, land a couple clean shots, mix in some leg kicks, and edge out the first round. Now, if Khalil wins round 1 and round 2 is even remotely as competitive, even if it was close and he survived round 3, he could walk away with decision. That's what makes this kind of dangerous. You don't have to dominate Jiri to beat him on points. You just have to survive, land the right shots at the right time, and not get melted in the chaos. And let's not forget, Khalil took a billion shots from Alex Pereira in that last round before the finish came. He was hanging on by a thread. He's durable as hell, no doubt about it, but he's also hittable. So if Khalil can land those leg kicks early, mix in that clean left hand, and not get dragged into a dogfight, there's a real path here. However, when it's all said and done, I'm still going to roll with Jiri Prochazka. Yeah, there's definitely some risk here. It's a 3-rounder, and we know Jiri takes a bit to download the reads. Khalil could absolutely come out hot, land some of those nasty leg kicks, touch Jiri a few times clean, and maybe even edge out the first or second round. But when I zoom out and really look at these guys, I just trust Jiri to find a way when it counts. Yes, Alex Pereira beat him twice now. That's cool. The first fight was competitive. The second one was clean and brutal. No argument there. Alex is one of the best strikers in history in 205, period. His timing, his counters, that power, he's a different animal. But that's Alex. Khalil's not bringing that same championship level timing, patience, or fight IQ. And outside of Alex, nobody even has figured out Jiri. because Yuri's still the third best light heavyweight in the world, right behind Big Ank and Alex. That's not a knock, that's an elite company. The guy's a warrior, he thrives in chaos, and unless you're precise and calculate for 15 minutes straight, he's eventually gonna drag you into a storm. And I don't think Khalil is built to survive that storm. I can see him having some early success, maybe even looking great in round one, but the longer this fight goes, the more Yuri starts pressing forward, switching stances, throwing weird entries. That's when it starts to all unravel. Khalil's best shot is to get in, land big and early, and hope that Yuri doesn't respond. And let's be honest, Yuri always responds. So yeah, give me Jiri Prochazka. It might be ugly, it might get wild, but I think he pulls it off. He walks through the fire like he always does and gets his hand raised.